Welcome back. Earlier this week, Justine and I sat down with one of the stars from Bravo's $1 Million Listing New York to talk about the latest in real estate and what we can expect next from the show, and much more. Check it out.
We all know the current pandemic has affected schools, local businesses, our healthcare system, and beyond. But what you may not know is how it has affected the real estate market. Here with his insider knowledge is licensed associate real estate broker for the Corcoran Group and one of the stars of Bravo's $1 Million Listing New York, Steve Gold. Welcome, Steve.
Welcome, Steve.
Hey there. Thank you for having me. How are you guys doing?
We're
doing
good.
well. So, Steve, let's jump right in. As a broker, what are your thoughts on how COVID has affected the real estate market here in New York?
Well, COVID's certainly affected the real estate market here in New York in many ways. First and foremost, I still think New York's always going to bounce back, but for the short term right now, we've seen a lot of people migrate outside of New York City. Families have moved, they have sought refuge and shelter in other places, and they are, working from home in a lot of instances. I'm right now doing this interview from home. That's one of the things that we've seen.
Yeah. So in terms of the details then, how has showing properties, let's say, and taking on listings really changed the most?
Well, when we first kind of in March, when everything shut down, I think we went into kind of this crisis mode and we started to say, hey, how are we going to still work while not being able to actually show apartments? So a lot of the things switched to virtual. We prepared videos and created ways to show listings without actually physically being there. And that's carrying out into showing still today. On June 22nd, we opened back up in phase 2 of reopening in New York City. We're able to show apartments with different regulations, but we still try to vet people. We still encourage them to look at the virtual showings and be sure they really want to see this apartment before they come in, and we vet them a lot more.
Right. So, Steve, any news on filming the new season of $1 Million Listing in New York?
I'm not supposed to talk about it, but this will be covered. And there's a lot of safety protocols and different, COVID's really changed every industry, real estate in New York, the entertainment industry, and it is going to be covered. That's about all I could say for now.
Okay, we'll take that. Now, Steve, I am a big fan of the show, so I really want to know, how has being on the show changed your business overall?
Being on the show has changed not only my business, it's changed my life, right? Yeah. The show it's shown in over 180 countries worldwide. It has created a huge audience and platform for me to get my listings out to the public. So I've created my marketing to appeal through social media and to really push it out through different channels that I have access to because of the show. And it's helped from a marketing standpoint tremendously.
Steve, before we let you go, tell us what's coming up for you.
Well, in COVID, a lot of my clients were relocating, so I took it upon myself to start to think about working outside of New York as well. A lot of people know I have a house in the Hamptons, and I did 10 deals during COVID out in the Hamptons. I'm joined, Corcoran has started a franchise up in upstate New York. So I joined the Rhinebeck office of Corcoran Country Living, where I'm now hanging my license and doing some deals upstate. I'm about to list a 450-acre farm in Ancramdale, New York, which is super exciting.
Wow.
And I'm working on getting my license in Connecticut, where I grew up in Stamford, Connecticut, and hope to help my clients who want to relocate to Westchester County or Fairfield County.
Amazing. All right. Sounds like big things. Well, Steve, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Good
course.
to see you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff.
Right? That was a good one. You guys know by now I am a Bravo-holic, so getting to chat with these Bravo celebrities is everything.
Next up, Justine walks us through some of her just-haves for the latest back-to-school tech. Don't go anywhere.